Hey everybody, it's Gypsy, and today I have a question for you, which I would like serious, honest answers. I'm very interested in this. Please put your answers in the comments below. I'm wondering, how do you perceive God, our Creator? And if you don't perceive God at all, well, you either just not answer, or you could just say that. Um, I'm not going to dispute you on your perception because it's your perception. Um, but I do want to talk about mine. Um, so, when I was growing up, I was taught to view God as a paternal figure, as a father, but I couldn't because I couldn't. When I thought of father, I thought of my biological father, and there was no likeness, in my opinion. I did, however, view God as this man in the sky, wherever up there, who went from loving you. So his love was very, very conditional to hating you and punishing you um, in a split second. So, I would hear God is love, but I had trouble believing that. Now, I don't think I ever really believed in hell, uh, even as a child or before I got into spiritualism. Um, but I believed a God would punish you here in this lifetime with, um, something bad happening or whatever. So I didn't really have a relationship or a good relationship with God. And I never could understand what people said when they had a relationship with God. I couldn't just connect it. Like, how could you have a relationship and live in terror all the time that if you slip up even the slightest, this, I'm going to say person, because I think God has been humanized too much, that would just turn around and hate you all of a sudden. So that's how I used to view God. Now, after I got into spiritualism, I started to view God very different. Now, most of you know I usually refer to God as either the Creator or Source God. So I guess for me, because I'm an artist, I view God as an artist. Artists create works of art, writing, music, whatever. I'm a visual artist. I like to paint, I like to sculpt, I like to do a lot of, I like to use a lot of different mediums. So I view our Creator as that. To me, Source God is the original spirit, because we are all spirits currently in a human body. So that's why I refer to the Creator as Source, because that was the original spirit. Now, very rarely, I will do this to help people understand what I'm saying. If I think that the person I'm talking to sees God as a man, I will refer to God as one, God, and He. I usually say it because I believe that Source God has both female and male energies. Because if it did not, we could not have, as human beings or any other mammal on this earth or in the universe, we could not have female and male energies. Okay? So I view Source as a creator. Now, when you're an artist and you create something, it's an experience. You are experiencing something. You get this idea in your mind's eye, and then you create it in whatever manner you choose. And it's an expression of who you are. It's an experience of, it's a feeling, it's emotions. Uh, it's hard to explain. And I think that's why I view God that way, is because I'm an artist and I know that Source created the entire universe, at least that. There could be more, I don't know. And created everything within it, including the planets, what kind of habitat the planets have or had, and what kind of beings are on this planet. God created all of this and set it in motion. And it just keeps going. Okay. Now, not so much that God isn't involved in our lives. I believe God is, but not to the extent I used to believe when I was young. Um, we're not chess pieces. Now, you hear in most religions that we have free will. Well, the way I believe is we truly have free will. Free will is free will without coercion, too. Okay? So, we're not God's chess pieces, and we make our own decisions. And you guys know I believe in pre-life planning, where we plan our lives before we come in. Now, again, not moment to moment. You have to leave some spontaneity in there sometime. But like the major events where you would have a learning experience, I believe we plan that before coming in conjunction with whoever else it might involve. Now, I believe when we plan our lives, God's involved somewhat, but it's us who is actually doing it. Now, to me, how God is involved is I call Source God Source, or the Creator, but in this case, we're going to go with Source because you have this energy, this spirit, who is the original spirit. This spirit is an artist, and everything else that any of us could possibly be, so is Source. So, Source only knew Source, and that was it. So, Source wanted more experiences. Now, in order to do that, Source had to create to have an experience, or any experience at all. So, Source took peace. Now, this is not a literal thing. This is just my way of understanding it for myself and to explain it to others. Source took pieces of Source. In other words, it's energy. Spirits are energy. Consciousness. Okay? Spirits are consciousness. Took pieces, parts of its consciousness, and created beings. Um, created spirits first who could incarnate into various beings throughout the universe. And this is why, whatever we experience, be it good or bad, happy or sad, whatever, Source experiences it with us. So through us, Source has these experiences. So when you're planning your life before you come in, Source is there planning too. I don't believe that Source God says yes or no to anything. I think its attitude is more like, okay, well, if that's what you want to do, go for it. Um, but you're right. This is why I believe people are not inherently evil. They're not born evil. It's the opposite. People are born good because Source is love, and people are born. We automatically have morals and stuff. But the decisions we have made throughout time has made it so that when we come into these lives, the atmosphere here is such that you could pick, you can choose to do things that are perceived as evil. And there's a lot of what we call evil going on here. So we're born here, and as we are here longer, it influences us more and more. So that's where that comes from. But God is experiencing that with us too. So it's not, my view is very different. And I know a lot of you won't agree with me, and that's okay. You're allowed to disagree with me. And I'm not going to try to change your mind on your perception of Source God. It is your journey. And for whatever reason, it is you have chosen to view Source God in this manner. In some way, it's serving you. So I wouldn't ever try to force what I believe on someone else. I just enjoy talking about it. And I like hearing what others believe um, and why and how it helps them, how it serves them, etc. So everything that we do, God is right there experiencing it with us and doing it with us. And I know that's hard to accept for a lot of people, but it's true. And I think that's why many people, you will hear some people say that either they're God or they'll say we are gods. Okay. Um, my interpretation of that is because we come directly from Source God. We are part of Source God. God is within us, each and every one of us. And that is how we are God. Not that we're the original spirit, not that we're a piece of it, not that we are the creator, the original creator. We are not, but we do create. We are creators, and we create in conjunction with Source God, the creator. We do it together because we have God within us, and therefore we are God in a sense, if you understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying that I am the almighty, powerful. No, 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 no. I'm just your average person, your average spirit incarnated. Um, that's it. But that's my perception of God. So if you have any questions or comments, or you want to tell me what your perception is, please put that in the comments below. I would love to hear how you perceive Source God. So blessed be, and make it a joyful one.